if it is if it is as short as that, then you can break you can break the fast. But if you are traveling for 1 week,
1 week, okay.
and you know that when you are traveling, even when it comes to shortening prayers, if you are traveling and you intend to stay more than 4 days,
4 days.
when you arrive, you will stop shortening the prayers,
Exactly.
according to the Malikis. If you know in the other schools of thought, insofar as you are out, you can continue to shorten the prayers.
Okay.
But here too, if you, while traveling, you intend to spend less than 3 days or 4 days, that's the time that you are allowed to fast.
Yes.
But you are allowed to break the fast, sorry. Okay. But if you intend to stay for 4 days or more, you don't break the fast. So these are the conditions attached to the rule that says that when you are traveling in the month of Ramadan, you can break your fast. And this is condition number one. Condition number two is sickness. Anybody who is sick is allowed to break the fast, provided that the sick is so, this sickness or the disease is so serious, so severe, that fasting could cost the person his life or her life. In this case, breaking the fast becomes mandatory. It becomes obligatory for the person to break the fast. If fasting will cost him or her life. But if, and second, if fasting will not cost him his life or her life, but it will be extremely severe, again, he is advised to break the fast. He's advised to break the fast. But if fasting will not cause any extra difficulty for him, it is usual.
So in the absence of these extremities, it's not allowed.
What is preferred for him is not allowed. In fact, that's the right word to say. Is not allowed to break the fast. You understand? So sickness, that is condition number one. Any sick person is allowed to break the fast. And the third one is pregnancy.
Pregnancy. That's for women.
You're a woman. And here now we are referring to the special circumstances under which women are allowed to break their fast. And under this rule, this component, you have also menstruation and period. The menstruation period and during the birth period. So a woman who delivers, a woman who is menstruating, a woman who is pregnant, and a woman who is breastfeeding. These you have 4 issues under this component. They are allowed to break their fast, and because each of these situations create some psychological and physical problems for the woman, particularly breastfeeding. And if continue to fast will affect the health of the child, or will affect the health of the mother, the woman, the breastfeeding woman is allowed not to fast and wait until after Ramadan, days after, months after, when the child is strong enough for him to continue, or for her to compensate the fasting, so that he will compensate fasting. The other condition is old age.
Old age.
Yes. Old age. Some people, because of old age, cannot fast. And again, this is a open-ended provision, because old age, for some, may mean 80 years. We have seen people who are in their 90s and they're still fasting. People who are there just in their 80s, they cannot fast. Even their late 70s, they cannot fast. So old age simply means old age. Provided that the physical composition of the body and the psychological state of the body, if it's still intact, he or she can fast without any problem. Let him fast. Because as I said, fasting is always rewarding. It's richly rewarding. Anybody who can do it, don't waste time by not doing it, because you lose a lot by not fasting. Under any circumstances, there is no way that you gain. I mean, you cannot equate the situations where you fast, even with difficulties, and where you're not fasting. So anyway, old age is a condition, is a circumstance under which a person may not be allowed. But in this case too, if the person is not fasting, he or she will be ordered to be giving out.
I wanted to ask what conditions. Situations Islam has provided. I mean, for
you give amount of food which is enough for 1 miskin every day until the end of Ramadan. So, in other words, if let's say
so that is during the entire month.
Let's say if 4 cups of rice or 5 cups of rice will do for 1 miskin. Every day you give 4 or 5 cups of rice. It is also possible for you to give the ready food. Prepare a special dish which you know is quite good enough to feed 1 person, and you give it out. So that is it's a way of compensating the fast.
The fast.
Another important condition is severe hunger. Test. Somebody may be severely hungry that he cannot fast. It can happen in various ways. Maybe because the person has not eaten
that is when someone cannot stand, hunger anymore.
Yeah, but again, one has to be very, very careful here. You know, nobody, hunger is no friend to anybody.
Okay, yes.
Nobody can say that I'm used to being hungry. It's a type of disease that anybody feels it. Okay. But it may be possible that somebody, for some reasons, did not eat for a whole day. Okay. And now tomorrow is the fasting day.
So the extremity has to be threatening,
yeah,
life-threatening.
Exactly, it has to be severe.
Severe, okay.
It has to be severe.
Okay.
Or like, so it may happen that you spend the whole day Grts working.
Yes.
You go home now, the moment you break your fast, you fell asleep.
Really?
You fell asleep until Fajr time.
Okay, until Fajr time.
And you are supposed to continue fasting.
Fasting again.
But if continuing fasting would create problems of survival, that you become extremely hungry, that you cannot go ahead. Then in this case, you'll be allowed to break the fast and address yourself. And according to ulama, the majority of them just eat something that can make you survive, and you stop there. Okay. Don't continue eating and enjoying the day. Okay. It can also be the result of a particular disease like ulcer.
Oh, yes.
If it is a particular disease which makes it very difficult for the person to be hungry for more than 2 or 3 hours.
2 hours, okay.
So let alone 12 hours. So if fasting will cause problem because of a particular disease which makes fasting become very difficult for him or for her, as it leads to severe hunger or
then
severe
it
thirst.
is not advised.
It is not advised. See, the person is allowed to break the fast. Finally, a fasting Muslim will be allowed to break his fast under a life-threatening situation. Okay. Somebody holding a gun, break your fast or take your head off. Oh. Something like that. Okay. Break your fast or your head is off. Okay. Or break your fast or something will happen.
Situations beyond your control. Okay.
Which is life-threatening.
Okay.
Then in this case you are allowed to break your fast. But one has to be careful too. You have to be extremely careful to make sure that one has to be extremely careful to make sure that the reasons for which fasting is being broken is extremely genuine. Yeah, because fasting is mandatory. Okay.
That's Dr. Abubakar Senghor, Dean of the Faculty of Law at the University of the Gambia. Don't forget, you're watching another edition of ICRA, and in a while later the lines will be opened up for you to ask questions, make your comments and views. The number to call is 437-5905. 437-5905. Doctor, I was just about to ask, Ramadan usually means a lot of work and chores for women who have to grapple with the task of going to the market, preparing food and iftar and other activities. Now, what does this mean in terms of reward and returns for a woman who is fasting and endeavoring at the same time to satisfy her family?
Ibrahim, this is another important issue that you are raising. Like I said before, Ramadan is a month of intensive you work. You work as hard as you can, as much as you can to gain as much as more you do.
Every minute seems to be precious.
Every minute, every second counts. Now, naturally, women are bound to enjoy special status in the month of Ramadan when it comes to the rewards, because the same women that we spend the night in the house, they do the domestic work. They cook, they prepare breakfast, they prepare suhoor, that's the early morning breakfast. They take care of the house. They go to work like you.
Yes.
In the provinces, in the rural areas, they go to the farms, they go to the garden, they go to the furrows. In the capital city, they go to work. And they are fasting too. So they are doing all that you are doing as a household, and they are fasting. So maybe the only thing you can say is, I'm providing fish money. And there are women who contribute also to fish money. You have to give enough, fish money. And that is why women stand in a distinct position in the month of Ramadan. And in most cases, they do more than men. You understand? Naturally, anybody who does more earns more. Okay. That's the law of nature.
Okay, so that's an advantageous position,
yes,
you tell me. Okay.
That's advantage. And that is why, Islam highly values women. And that is why every husband who can afford it financially is duty bound to get a maid for the wife, to reduce the workload, the domestic load, or the domestic work, to reduce the workload or the domestic work, for the wife. Because look at, like the way I explained, from morning to night, really, whatever you do, they are doing it, and they are fasting also together.
As well, really.
And they are doing things that you are not doing, particularly the domestic work. And the way we understand division of labor here in West Africa, particularly in the Senegambia region, our understanding is that when it comes to to the domestic work, it is absolutely for women. They go to market, they cook, they wash clothes, utensils. For you, these are no-go zones for men.
Really?